And President Trump has been repeatedly claiming India is the tariff king. While data shows India's tariffs are high, when considered at face value, the weighted average of the tariff levies is much lower than several countries. Sample this. India's simple average is less than 16%, but India's weighted average applied tariff rate is just 4.6%. This gap shows that higher tariffs are concentrated in a few low import sectors like agriculture and automobiles, which form a small share of the trade between India and the US. India's trade weighted average rate of 4.6% is lower than the European Union's 5%. Developing economies like Vietnam and Indonesia are also well above India's rate. The rate for Bangladesh is over 10%. Since January this year, India has made several concessions to strike a deal with the United States. Harley-Davidson motorcycles, for example, in India are now cheaper after duties were reduced from the earlier 50% to around 30%. Similarly, tariffs on bourbon whiskey has been cut from 150 to 100%. These were two of the many tariff measures India undertook to sweeten the deal. That's not all. India abolished a 6% equalization levy, which was applicable on US tech firms offering online services in India. Additionally, retaliatory tariffs on key American agricultural exports like apples, walnuts and almonds were withdrawn in 2023 after the resolution of WTO disputes. India has also been increasing its energy imports from the US. In the first quarter of this financial year, US energy imports are up 114%. The share of US crude in India's import basket has risen from 3% to 8%. In July alone, India is estimating a 150% rise in energy imports from the US. This year, responding to the US President, the Ministry of External Affairs has said the targeting of India is unjustified and unreasonable. It promised to take all necessary measures to safeguard national interests and economic security. India also defended its oil imports from Russia, saying it began importing from Russia because traditional supplies were being diverted to Europe after the Ukraine war. India has also gone on to say that the US actively encouraged India to import Russian oil, as that would strengthen the global energy market stability. This was because of a sharp spike in oil prices, with Brent crude hitting $137 per barrel in March 2022 after Russia invaded Ukraine. In November 22, US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen had said, and I quote, "The United States is happy for India to continue buying as much Russian oil as it wants, including at prices above a G7 imposed price cap mechanism, if it steers clear of Western insurance, finance and maritime services bound by the cap." End of quote. Just a few months ago, in May 2024, US Ambassador to India Eric Garcetti admitted that India bought Russian oil because the US wanted someone to buy Russian oil, and the US allowed these purchases to ensure oil prices do not go up globally. End of quote.
Thank you for watching CNBC TV 18, and do follow us on all our social media platforms for news, updates and more.